Well, it is pretty rainy and dreary on the homestead, so I thought I would give an update on what's going on inside. Our seedlings are doing pretty well. We've got a lot of dwarf bok choy in this bed and a tom thumb lettuce right here. I've just been kind of trying to do a little bit planting diversity that I eventually want to mirror out on the property. So these are tom thumb lettuce, and we've got some lemon basil. I'm really excited about growing different lemon scented and flavored herbs. So lemon basil, I've got some lemon mint that I'm trying to grow, and lemon balm as well. But these two are lemon basil, and then our thyme is really starting to take off now that we've gotten it out of the seed sales. I purchased some, I think it's maybe 1 or 2 year old asparagus from someone selling locally off of Facebook Marketplace, and we've got quite a few of those here. We've also up potted our tree collards, and oh, forgive me, I forget which ones these are. These have got to be just kind of the green tree collards, but I'm growing different varieties. I've got some purple tree collards that I'm growing from cuttings, and these are doing pretty well over here. We've got some green tree collards. I've got the merit tree collard growing. So probably about 3 different varieties of tree collards. We love collard greens here on the homestead. I'm using this light just as supplemental light on dreary days like this, just to give them a little extra push. Here we've got a variety of herbs growing. We've got lemon balm, which is just starting to do okay. I've got lemon mint. Mint is super resilient, and so this didn't get the best start, and I'm just really hoping that these two will strengthen up and proliferate in the ways that mint usually does. We've got German chamomile, which is just kind of bouncing back from the transplant. Got some more thyme over here, and we've got a spicy saber basil here. And I think, so this is thyme. This is probably some little oregano. And then I put some mullein over here that was doing pretty good in the seed sales, but I needed to get a lot of things out of those seed sales. This broadleaf thyme, this is our mother plant here that I got as a cutting from some friends. And we have taken so many cuttings off of this plant. We've given some away. I've given some to students. We've got cuttings here. This is bay leaf. It had kind of died down, and so I was super sad, but it's bounced back pretty well. Here's another cutting of the broadleaf thyme, also known as Cuban oregano, Mexican mint. It's thyme, but it has a similar flavoring and scent to oregano, so it can be used interchangeably. And just look at the size of this leaf here. So one of the things that I believe that we're going to do is we're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, and once we do, we're going to give a giveaway for one of these cuttings. As you can see, we've got more cuttings here, more cuttings here, and this is a cutting of last season's regular collard, not a tree collard, that I put here, and it has just been doing beautifully. It's living its best life over here. And then I've got a collection, a hodgepodge collection of herbs here. We've got some basil in here. I think we probably have some oregano in here. I think this is lemon balm. I'm really hoping this is my stevia, which is why I have this here. Only one of the seeds germinated, so I put it here and hoping that it's going to do some things. And this is one of the basils, I believe, probably that spicy saber basil. Now, let's trot over here to the seed starting area. Our peppers are doing really well, and I'm happy for that because when we started our tomatoes, which I'll get to shortly, I overwatered them. I didn't have enough drainage in these cups here, and so I remedied that situation when up-potting the pepper plants, and they're all doing pretty well. Cucumbers back there are doing pretty well. I'm really trying for this mullein, and this right here, I believe, is one of those basils. I think whatever is going on the leaves here, which I also was experiencing with one of my tomatillo plants, I think that's due to overwatering. So once it gets a couple of more leaves, I'll probably cut that off. Mullein's not doing too well, and I think I've got some oregano in there. This is our hydroponic rail system that I built several years ago. I think probably about 5 years now since we've been down here in Arkansas. And it was one of the first ones that I built. We've got some purple lady bok choy and dwarf bok choy interspersed in this rail system. I do also have an arrow garden that we'll take a look at later, do some comparisons. Up here, I think I've got, still trying with this mullein. This one might be okay. And I've got some, oh, these are actually more than okay. These are actually doing well, which is great because I have not had any success in these tier gardens. We've got the regular size ones. I'm still going to try to do some things in there. So I'm looking to see, I'm using this smaller one as sort of a model to see what the bigger ones will be able to do. I also probably didn't have proper drainage in the bigger ones, but this mullein is, this is the only place where the mullein is starting to kind of thrive. Tiffany, you see these?
Oh, yeah.
They're actually doing really well in this one. So we'll put it back up here. Up there. There we go. I started a bunch of lettuce seeds in here. I just sprinkled a red leaf variety and another variety. And so this is going to be a self-watering system. You can see at the bottom, I've got just some cloth, and it's threaded through here and comes down on the other side. There's no water in this reservoir for now because these are just sprouting and the soil is still moistened. But once they really start emerging, then I'll put some water down here, and so it will be able to wick the water up as needed and keep the soil moistened. All right, let's get over here and check out what's happening with our tomatoes. This is a tomatillo, and it was experiencing some really gnarly looking stuff on the leaves, and it looked like some sort of blight, potentially due to overwatering. And so I cut those leaves off and kept the one leaf that looked pretty good on it. And so I've got it sitting here under these grow lights. It can get closer to those. I'll lift it up so it can get closer to those. Here, again, like I said, our tomatoes and stuff were really in poor condition due to overwatering. I just did not have adequate drainage in these cups when I up potted them, but they are living their best lives now. The leaves are starting to get stronger. They were super frail, and you can see here we had some droppage because if I did something like this, a leaf would drop. So I'm happy to see that they are bouncing back, and all of my labels got mixed up in trying to save them. And I guess I didn't write on these, but if I'm correct, these might be my cherry tomatoes ones. And so we've got these just sitting here. Again, I've got grow lights that I installed underneath our cabinets. It's really easy to do. Those strip grow lights, I just screwed them in under there. And we've got a lot of outlets here. And so I just ran them in a sort of daisy chain under here. You can see the cord hanging. Got to tape that up. Here we are with more. A large red cherry tomato. Yeah, they're really starting to kind of bounce back. Here's one that's still looking a little sickly. You can tell how fragile these leaves are here. And see, look at that. That just came right off. But this is kind of the last of the fragile leaves here. And so just going to discard. These are a lot stronger and getting stronger every day now that they've got some proper drainage. The color is looking better. They were super pale. This one here is getting stronger. Yeah, they were super pale. Did I write on these? I don't think I wrote on these. Like I said, they got all mixed up. We're just going to have a bunch of tomatoes and we'll see what they are. But yeah, they are looking better. The roots are looking better. In fact, I probably can return them to sitting in the red cups. That's what I had labeled. I had labeled the red cups. So I don't know which ones are cherry. I don't know which ones are beefsteak anymore, except for the ones that have the labels in them. I've got some Paul Robeson as well. So I know this is a large red cherry tomato, and I'm pretty much just going to say the ones that look similar. So we've got, this is a cherry red tomato, so we'll go ahead and slide that in there. This looks very similar, so I'm going to say this is a cherry tomato. But it's also hard to tell because, like, for example, this beefsteak is looking really, really poorly. Let's turn on our lights. Uh-oh, that's not lights. Oh, lights were already on. Whoopsie. Never mind. Let's get it on here. So this beefsteak one is still looking poorly, but it's bouncing. It's starting to bounce back. And to me, I would say because it's poorly, it's resembling the large cherry red tomato. So basically what we're doing is we're going to return these in here. There's no water in there. This will help kind of block out the lighting from here. But I'm happy they're bouncing back. Actually, just turn on some light. There we go. Really happy that they're bouncing back. So that's our update for today.